Welcome, history explorers, to an epic journey through ancient civilizations. We're thrilled to have you with us as we dive into the mysteries of the Maya, Inca, and Mali empires. If you love uncovering the past, share this video with friends, hit that like button, and drop a comment to let us know what excites you most about these incredible cultures. Let's begin with the Maya, whose story unfolds in the heart of Mesoamerica's jungles, from around 200 BCE, in the lands of modern Guatemala, Mexico, Belize, and Honduras. The Maya built a society that would dazzle the ancient world with its towering pyramids, intricate calendars, and vibrant culture. This chapter traces the origins of the Maya, from their humble beginnings as farmers in scattered villages to the emergence of grand city-states like Tikal and El Mirador. It was a world where maize sustained life, gods ruled the cosmos, and human ingenuity transformed the jungle into a cradle of civilization. The Maya story begins in the Preclassic period, when small farming communities settled in the fertile lowlands and highlands of Mesoamerica. These early Maya, descendants of ancient hunter-gatherers, tamed the jungle with slash-and-burn agriculture, cultivating maize, beans, and squash. Picture a village nestled beside a cenote, a sacred limestone sinkhole filled with turquoise water. Families in woven tunics hoe fields under a scorching sun, their thatched huts of wood and palm glowing in the dawn. These communities were tight-knit, sharing labor to clear forests and build earthen mounds for rituals. Their reverence for the land and sky laid the spiritual foundation for the Maya's later achievements. By 500 BCE, these villages grew into bustling settlements, driven by advances in agriculture and trade. The Maya developed sophisticated farming techniques, such as terracing hillsides and digging canals to manage water in the swampy lowlands. Imagine farmers wading through muddy fields, guiding water from rivers to irrigate maize crops, their laughter mingling with the calls of howler monkeys. Trade networks flourished, connecting villages across jungles and coasts. Obsidian from volcanic highlands, jade from distant quarries, and shells from the Caribbean were bartered in markets, carried by porters along winding paths. These exchanges spread ideas, fostering a shared Maya identity rooted in language and cosmology. The first great cities emerged around 250 BCE, marking the rise of the Maya's classic era. El Mirador, a sprawling metropolis, boasted massive pyramids and causeways cutting through the jungle. Picture a towering stone structure, its steps adorned with carved masks of gods, rising above a canopy of ceiba trees. Chiefs, adorned in feathered headdresses and jaguar pelts, led ceremonies to honor the maize god and the sun, their voices echoing across plazas filled with onlookers. These early cities were not just settlements, but sacred centers, where priests studied the stars and offered incense to appease deities like Itzamna, the creator god. Social structures solidified as cities grew. At the top were divine kings or jaws, believed to be intermediaries between gods and humans, ruling with nobles and priests. Below them, artisans crafted pottery and weavers spun cotton, while farmers and laborers sustained the population. Imagine a bustling plaza. A noble in a jade necklace oversees a market where women trade maize for obsidian blades, while children play near a ball court. This hierarchy, though rigid, fostered cooperation, enabling the Maya to build monumental architecture and develop complex rituals that define their culture. The rise of the Maya was a triumph of resilience and ingenuity. From scattered villages to grand cities, they transformed the jungle into a landscape of stone and stars. Their early innovations in agriculture, trade, and governance laid the groundwork for a civilization that would shine for centuries. As we move forward, we'll explore how these foundations shaped the daily lives, beliefs, and achievements of the Maya, forging a legacy that endures in the jungles of Mesoamerica. In the lush, vibrant heart of the Maya world, where the cries of macaws echoed through tangled jungles and limestone cities rose like islands of stone, daily life pulsed with purpose and tradition. From 200 BCE to 900 CE, the Maya thrived in city-states like Tikal, Palenque, and Calakmul, their lives shaped by the rhythms of agriculture, trade, and ritual. Farmers toiled in maize fields, artisans carved jade, and nobles orchestrated ceremonies under the watchful eyes of the gods. This chapter delves into the heartbeat of Maya society, its people, their roles, and the vibrant customs that wove their communities together in the humid embrace of Mesoamerica's jungles. Most Maya were farmers, their lives tied to the cycles of maize, the sacred crop that sustained both body and spirit. In villages surrounding great cities, families rose at dawn to tend fields carved from the jungle. Picture a farmer, sweat beading on his brow, slashing undergrowth with an obsidian blade, while his wife plants maize seeds in rich, black soil near a shimmering cenote. These communities built thatched roof huts, their interiors cool and dim, where families shared meals of tamales, beans, and chili spice squash. In the dry season, men hunted deer or fished in rivers, while women wove cotton into colorful textiles, their looms humming under palm shades. Cities like Tikal were bustling hubs, their plazas alive with activity. Artisans, skilled in pottery and stonework, crafted vessels painted with scenes of gods and kings. Imagine a marketplace. Vendors in loincloths trade cacao beans for quetzal feathers, their voices rising above the chatter of children playing near a step pyramid. Merchants, carrying packs of obsidian and salt, navigated jungle paths to connect cities, their goods fueling a vibrant economy. Above them, nobles in elaborate headdresses oversaw trade, their residences adorned with stucco reliefs of jaguars and serpents, symbols of power and divine favor. The Maya social hierarchy was intricate, with divine kings adjures at the apex, revered as intermediaries to the gods. Below them, nobles managed land and rituals, while priests, clad in feathered cloaks, read the stars to guide planting and ceremonies. Commoners, farmers, laborers, and artisans formed the backbone, their labor building pyramids and sustaining cities. Picture a noble's household. A woman in a jade necklace weaves a ceremonial cloth, while her husband, a scribe, etches glyphs on a codex, recording a king's victory. Slaves, often war captives, toiled in fields or served in elite homes, their lives a stark contrast to the splendor above. Rituals and games bound the Maya together. The sacred ball game, played in stone courts, was both sport and ceremony, symbolizing cosmic battles. Imagine a packed courtyard. Players in padded belts hurl a rubber ball through a stone ring, spectators cheering as priests burn copal incense to honor the gods. Festivals mark the seasons, with dances and feasts celebrating maize harvests or equinoxes. Villagers and nobles alike joined in processions, their faces painted red, offering cacao and flowers to deities like Chok, the rain god, whose blessings ensured fertile fields. Life in the Maya heartland was a delicate balance of labor and reverence. Farmers and artisans sustained the cities, while nobles and priests wove spiritual meaning into daily tasks. The sounds of flutes, the scent of incense, and the vibrancy of markets created a world where every action honored the gods and the jungle that cradled them. As we continue, we'll explore how these beliefs fuel the Maya's spiritual life, from blood offerings to starlit observatories, shaping a civilization that shone through the ages. In the heart of the Maya world, where the jungle whispered secrets and the stars traced divine patterns, religion was the thread that wove every aspect of life together. From 200 BCE to 900 CE, the Maya saw their universe as a living tapestry, governed by gods who demanded reverence, sacrifice, and harmony. Temples atop towering pyramids served as portals to the divine, where priests and kings performed rituals to ensure the sun's rise and the rain's return. This chapter explores the Maya's intricate cosmology, their sacred practices from blood offerings to the revered ballgame and the spiritual devotion that fuel their civilization's brilliance in the jungles of Mesoamerica. The Maya believed in a cosmos layered with heavens, earth, and an underworld called Xibalba. Gods like Itzamna, the creator, and Chok, the rain god, ruled this universe, their whims shaping harvests and fates. Every maize field, cenote, and pyramid was sacred, a reflection of the divine order. Picture a priest in a jaguar skin cloak, standing atop a Tikal pyramid, burning copal incense as he chants to the rising sun, its rays glinting off stone carvings of serpents. These ceremonies, held at equinoxes or solstices, aligned human actions with cosmic cycles, ensuring balance in a world where gods could be benevolent or vengeful. Rituals were the heartbeat of Maya faith, often involving blood offerings to appease deities. Kings and nobles, seen as divine intermediaries, pierce their tongues or ears with stingray spines, their blood dripping onto bark paper to be burned as a gift to the gods. Imagine a dimly lit temple chamber, a king, adorned in quetzal feathers, grimaces as blood flows, priests chanting while smoke rises to the heavens. These acts, far from mere spectacle, were sacred duties to sustain the cosmos, ensuring rain for crops and victory in war. Commoners, too, offered maize or cacao, tying their daily lives to the divine. The sacred ballgame, pits, was both sport and ritual, played in stone courts across cities like Chichen Itza. Players, wearing padded belts, struck a heavy rubber ball toward a stone ring, symbolizing cosmic battles between light and darkness. Picture a roaring crowd in a sunlit courtyard. Players leap, sweat glistening, as nobles watch from shaded platforms. The balls thud echoing off carved walls. Victors were honored, while in some cases, captives faced sacrifice, their deaths reenacting myths of the hero twins who defeated Xibalba's lords. Priests, the keepers of knowledge, studied the stars and recorded time in intricate calendars. Using observatories like Alcoracle, they tracked Venus and the moon to predict planting seasons and divine omens. Imagine a priest in a feathered headdress, hunched over a codex in a torchlit chamber, etching glyphs that map the cycles of the heavens. These codices, painted on bark paper, preserved myths, histories, and astronomical tables, blending science with spirituality. Temples, adorned with stucco reliefs of gods like Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, stood as testaments to this sacred knowledge. Festivals united communities in devotion. During the maize harvest, villagers danced in plazas, their faces painted red, offering cacao and flowers to Chok for rain. Picture a vibrant procession. Women in embroidered hooples carry baskets of maize, while drummers beat rhythms on turtle shell drums, the air thick with incense. These celebrations, from rural villages to grand cities, reinforce the Maya's bond with their gods and each other. As we move forward, we'll explore how this spiritual foundation fueled the Maya's scientific and artistic achievements, crafting a legacy that shines through the jungle's emerald veil. In the shadowed plazas and starlit observatories of the Maya city-states, a civilization's intellect blazed, weaving science, art, and innovation into the fabric of their jungle world. From 200 BCE to 900 CE, the Maya mastered astronomy, mathematics, and writing, creating a legacy that rivaled any ancient culture. Their cities, like Tikal and Copan, were not only centers of ritual, but also hubs of knowledge, where priests charted the heavens, artisans carved stone masterpieces, and scribes etched history into codices. This chapter explores the Maya's extraordinary achievements, revealing a people whose minds reached for the stars, while their hands shaped the earth. Astronomy was the cornerstone of Maya science, guiding both agriculture and religion. Priests, perched in observatories like Chichen Itza's El Coracle, tracked the cycles of Venus, the moon, and the sun with astonishing precision. Picture a priest in a feathered cloak, gazing through a stone window aligned with the equinox, his fingers tracing glyphs on a bark paper codex. The Maya's calendars, the 260-day Tzolkin and 365-day Hob interlocked to form the calendar round, predicting eclipses and planting seasons. These calculations, etched in stone and paint, ensured maize fields bloomed and rituals honored cosmic rhythms, blending science with sacred duty. Mathematics underpinned their celestial work. The Maya developed a vigesimal-based 20 system, using dots 4 ones, bars 4 fives, and a shell 4 0, a concept rare in the ancient world. Imagine a scribe in a torchlit chamber, calculating dates on a wooden abacus, his codex filled with glyphs, recording a king's reign. This numerical precision allowed the Maya to create long-count calendars, tracking time across centuries, and to design pyramids with exact proportions. Cities like Palenque were laid out with mathematical symmetry, their step structures aligning with solstices, a testament to the Maya's analytical genius. Writing was another triumph, preserved in the hieroglyphic script that adorned codices, stelae, and temple walls. Scribes, often nobles, recorded histories, myths, and astronomical data in folding books made of fig tree bark. Picture a workshop in cotton. A scribe dips a reed brush in red ochre, etching glyphs of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, while apprentices grind pigments. These codices, though many were later destroyed, captured the Maya's world tales of gods, kings, and conquests. Stone stelae, towering in plazas, celebrated rulers' victories, their carved glyphs blending art with narrative, ensuring legacies endured. Art flourished as an expression of Maya identity. Sculptors chiseled limestone stelae, with intricate reliefs of kings in elaborate headdresses, their faces framed by jaguar motifs. Potters painted vessels with scenes of the Popolvuh, the Maya creation myth, while weavers crafted textiles with vibrant geometric patterns. Imagine an artisan carving a jade pendant shaped like a maize god, its green surface gleaming in the sunlight, destined for a noble's tomb. Temples, adorned with stucco masks of chalk, transformed cities into galleries of divine art, each piece a bridge between the earthly and the sacred. Innovation extended to daily life. The Maya engineered aqueducts and reservoirs to harness water in the jungle's dry seasons, sustaining cities like Tikal. Picture workers hauling limestone blocks, their chants echoing as they build a causeway through swampy terrain. These feats, combined with their intellectual pursuits, made the Maya a beacon of creativity. As we move forward, we'll explore how these achievements shaped their cities and the challenges that led to their decline, leaving a legacy etched in stone and starlight. In the heart of Mesoamerica's jungles, where emerald canopies parted to reveal stone giants, the Maya built cities that stood as testaments to their ambition and ingenuity. From 200 BCE to 900 CE, city-states like Tikal, Palenque, and Chichen Itza arose as beacons of culture, power, and devotion, their pyramids piercing the sky and their plazas pulsing with life. These urban centers were more than settlements, they were sacred landscapes where kings, priests, artisans, and farmers wove a complex society, bound by trade, ritual, and hierarchy. This chapter explores the splendor of Maya cities, their vibrant economies, and the social tapestry that sustained them amidst the jungle's embrace. The architecture of Maya cities was awe-inspiring, blending function with divine purpose. Tikal, one of the greatest city-states, sprawled across the Petan jungle, its stepped pyramids crowned with temples to gods like Chok and Kukulkan. Picture a towering structure, its limestone face carved with serpentine motifs, catching the dawn's light as priests ascend to offer incense. Causeways, wide stone roads, connected plazas and palaces, while reservoirs and aqueducts harness scarce water to sustain thousands. Palenque's elegant palaces, adorned with stucco reliefs, housed nobles under intricately carved roofs, their beauty rivaling the jungle's lushness. Daily life in these cities buzzed with activity. Plazas served as marketplaces where merchants traded cacao, jade, and obsidian blades, their stalls shaded by palm awnings. Imagine a vibrant scene. Women in colorful hooples barter maize for kets or feathers, while porters haul sacks of salt past bulkort stone walls. Artisans, working in nearby workshops, shaped pottery with mythic scenes, or carved limestone lintels depicting royal victories. Farmers from surrounding villages brought surplus maize and beans, their labor feeding urban populations, while water carriers filled clay jars from cenotes, ensuring the city's survival in the dry season. The social order was a delicate balance of power and duty. Divine kings Ajors, believed to commune with gods, ruled from ornate palaces, their authority cemented by grand ceremonies. Nobles, adorned in jade necklaces and feathered cloaks, managed trade and land, while priests orchestrated rituals to align cities with the cosmos. Picture a royal procession, a king in a jaguar pelt throne, carried through a plaza, as nobles wave palm fans and crowds bow in reverence. Commoners, farmers, laborers, and craftsmen formed the city's backbone, their taxes in grain and labor building pyramids and sustaining elites. The ballgame, pits, was a cultural cornerstone, played in stone courts that echoed with the cheers of thousands. It was both sport and sacred ritual, reenacting cosmic battles. Imagine players, clad in padded belts, striking a rubber ball toward a stone ring, sweat gleaming under the midday sun, as priests burn copal to honor the gods. These games, often tied to royal prestige, drew communities together, while festivals celebrating harvests or equinoxes filled plazas with music from flutes and drums, uniting all classes in shared devotion. Maya cities were marvels of human achievement, their stone facades and bustling markets reflecting a society in harmony with its environment and beliefs. Yet, beneath the splendor, strains of overpopulation and resource scarcity loomed, hinting at challenges to come. As we move forward, we'll explore the forces that led to the decline of these jungle kingdoms, and how their legacy endured beyond the fall of their greatest cities, etched in stone and memory. As the Maya civilization reached its zenith in the jungles of Mesoamerica, its towering pyramids and vibrant cities stood as monuments to human ingenuity. Yet, by the 9th century CE, the great city-states like Tikal, and Copton began to crumble, their plazas falling silent and their temples swallowed by the jungle. The decline of the classic Maya, 200 BCE 900 CE, was not a sudden catastrophe, but a complex unraveling, driven by environmental, social, and political pressures. This final chapter explores the forces that dimmed the Maya's golden age, the resilience of their descendants, and the enduring legacy that echoes in the cultures and landscapes of modern Mesoamerica. The seeds of decline were sown in the very success of the Maya cities. Over centuries, populations swelled, straining the jungle's resources. Intensive agriculture, vital for feeding millions, depleted soils, and led to deforestation. Picture a once lush field, now cracked and barren, as farmers struggle to coax maize from exhausted earth, their faces etched with worrying. Droughts, worsened by climate shifts, dried up cenotes and reservoirs, leaving cities like Tikal parched. Without water, crops failed, and hunger crept into bustling plazas, weakening the bonds between rulers and their people. Political strife further eroded stability. Rival city-states, like Tikal and Kalokmal, waged relentless wars for dominance, their kings leading armies through jungle paths. Imagine a battle-scarred plaza. Warriors in padded armor clash with obsidian-tipped spears, while carved steely topple under the chaos. These conflicts drained resources and disrupted trade, isolating cities. Internal power struggles also fractured loyalties, as nobles challenged divine kings, weakening the sacred authority that held societies together. The last stele, inscribed with dates in the 9th century, marked the fading voices of once mighty rulers. Social unrest compounded these challenges, as harvests dwindled. Commoners, farmers, and laborers who built the pyramids grew restless under the demands of taxes and labor. Picture a village square, once vibrant with markets, now tense as families abandon homes, seeking fertile lands elsewhere. Many city dwellers migrated to smaller settlements, or the northern Yucatan, where chickenites briefly flourished in the post-classic period. The great cities of the south, like Palenque, were left to the jungle, their limestone facades crumbling under vines and rain, a silent testament to a lost era. Yet, the Maya spirit endured. In the north, cities like Chichén Itzá and Mayapan thrived into the 13th centuries, blending classic traditions with new influences from central Mexico. Picture a bustling Chichén Itzá. Merchants trade cacao, or a plaza, overshadowed by the stepped pyramid of Kukulkan. Its serpent shadows dancing during equinoxes. Descendants of the classic Maya preserve their language, calendars, and rituals, passing down stories of the Popolvuh. Spanish conquest in the 16th century disrupted, but did not erase this heritage, as Maya communities adapted, hiding codices and maintaining sacred practices in remote villages. The legacy of the Maya shines today. Their hieroglyphs, decoded by modern scholars, reveal a civilization of astronomers, artists, and builders. Descendants in Guatemala and Mexico still speak Maya languages, weave vibrant textiles, and honor Chok in rituals. Picture a modern Maya village. Elders light incense at a stone altar, their chants echoing ancient prayers, as children play near a cenote. The pyramids of Tikal and Palenque, now UNESCO sites, draw the world to marvel at their genius. As we close this story, the Maya remind us of humanity's capacity to create, endure, and leave traces that defy time, etched in the jungle's eternal embrace. In the emerald heart of Mesoamerica, where pyramids once pierced the jungle canopy and cities thrummed with life, the Maya civilization faced a twilight that silenced its greatest centers. By the 9th century CE, the grand city-states of Tikal, Calakmul, and Copan faded, their stone plazas overtaken by vines and their voices lost to time. The decline of the classic Maya, 200 BCE 900 CE, was a slow unraveling, woven from environmental strain, political turmoil, and social upheaval. Yet, even as the jungle reclaimed their cities, the Maya spirit endured, their legacy carried forward by descendants and etched into the stones of a resilient culture. This chapter explores the forces that dimmed the Maya's golden age and the enduring echoes that resonate in Mesoamerica today. The roots of decline lay in the Maya's own success. As cities swelled with tens of thousands, their hunger for resources outstripped the jungle's bounty. Intensive farming, vital for feeding millions, eroded soils and felled forests, leaving fields barren. Picture a farmer standing in a cracked, dry field, his maize stalks wilting under a relentless sun, as distant cenotes run dry. Prolonged droughts, confirmed by modern studies of lake sediments, struck the lowlands, starving reservoirs that sustained urban life. Without water, harvests failed, and empty granaries sparked desperation, eroding faith in the divine kings who promised prosperity. Political strife deepened the crisis. Rival city-states like Tikal and Calakmul waged wars for supremacy, their armies clashing in jungle clearings. Imagine a scarred battlefield. Warriors in quilted armor wield obsidian-tipped clubs, their shouts drowned by the crash of spears, as a once-proud stealer topples. These conflicts drained manpower and disrupted trade networks, cutting off supplies of jade and obsidian. Within cities, nobles challenged the authority of Ajors, fracturing the sacred bond between rulers and gods. The last carved stelae, dated to the late 800s, stand as silent markers of kings whose power waned, their cities abandoned by the elite. Social unrest followed scarcity. Commoners, burdened by taxes in labor and grain, grew weary of supporting lavish courts. Picture a village square, once vibrant with trade, now hushed as families pack woven mats, seeking fertile lands beyond dying cities. Many migrated to the northern Yucatan, where post-classic centers like Chichén Itzá arose, blending Maya traditions with Toltec influences. Southern cities like Palenque and Tikal were left to the jungle, their pyramids crumbling under Mesoamerican rain, their plazas reclaimed by howler monkeys and ceiba trees. The Maya never vanished. In the north, Chichén Itzá and later Mayapan thrived into the 13th century, their markets bustling with cacao and their pyramids aligned with the stars. Picture a vibrant Chichén Itzá plaza. Merchants barter under the shadow of the Kukulkan pyramid, its stone serpents gleaming at equinox. Descendants preserve the Maya language, calendars, and stories like the Popolva, passing them through generations. Even after the Spanish conquest in the 16th century, Maya communities endured, hiding codices and practicing rituals in remote villages, their resilience defying colonial erasure. The Maya's legacy shines in modernity. Their hieroglyphs, now decoded, reveal a civilization of astronomers and poets. In Guatemala and Mexico, descendants weave textiles with ancient patterns and honor choque in ceremonies by sacred cenotes. Picture a modern Maya village. Elders burn incense at a stone altar, their chants echoing ancient prayers as children dance under a starry sky. The ruins of Tikal and Palenque, now global treasures, draw the world to marvel at their genius. As we turn to the next story, the Maya remind us of a people who built a world of stone and stars, their legacy enduring through the jungle's timeless embrace. In the soaring highlands of the Andes, where snow-capped peaks pierce the heavens and valleys cradle emerald rivers, the Inca civilization emerged as a beacon of human ambition. From the 13th century, in the heart of modern-day Peru, a small tribe in the Cusco Valley rose to forge one of the America's greatest empires. Known as the Children of the Sun, the Inca wove a culture of reverence for Inti, the sun god, a mastery over their rugged terrain. This chapter journeys to the origins of the Inca, from the mythic founding of Cusco by Manco Capac to the early settlements that laid the foundations of an empire stretching across mountains, deserts, and forests of South America. According to legend, the Inca story begins with Manco Capac and Lamaruclu, sent by Inti to civilize the world. Emerging from the sacred waters of Lake Titicaca, they wandered the Andes, carrying a golden staff that would sink into the earth to mark their destined home. Picture a windswept valley. Manco Capac, clad in woven tunics, thrusts his staff into the fertile soil of Cusco, declaring it the navel of the world. This myth, recorded in oral traditions, reflects the Incas' belief in their divine mission. By 1200 CE, the Cusco Valley became their heartland, a cluster of adobe huts nestled between rugged peaks, where tribes united under a shared destiny. Life in these early communities was shaped by the Andes' harsh beauty. The Inca, descendants of Quechua-speaking tribes, were farmers and herders, cultivating maize, quinoa, and potatoes on terrace slopes. Imagine a family laboring at dawn. Men guide wooden plows pulled by llamas, while women plant seeds in soil enriched by guano, their faces weathered by the thin mountain air. Llamas and alpacas, vital to survival, provided wool, meat, and transport across treacherous trails. These villages, organized into A-list kin-based communities, shared labor, pooling resources to terrace hillsides and dig irrigation channels, ensuring crops thrived in the arid highlands. The early Inca were skilled adapters, turning the Andes into a cradle of innovation. They built stone-walled settlements, their mortarless masonry defying earthquakes. Picture a village square. Thatched roof homes surround a communal field, where elders oversee the harvest, their voices mingling with the bleating of llamas. Trade networks linked Cusco to distant regions, exchanging potatoes for coastal fish or jungle coca leaves, carried by runners along mountain paths. These exchanges fostered cultural unity, blending local traditions with a growing reverence for Inti, whose golden light was believed to bless their fields and guide their leaders. Leadership emerged through chiefs, or cinches, who united tribes under a shared vision. Manco Capac, whether myth or man, was the first Sapa Inca, a divine ruler seen as Inti's son. His successors strengthened Cusco, building temples and storehouses. Imagine a modest stone temple, its walls gleaming with gold offerings, as priests burned coca leaves to honor the sun. The Alu system, with its reciprocal labor, cemented social bonds, while oral traditions, sung by storytellers, preserved tales of creation and conquest. This foundation of faith, community, and ingenuity set the stage for the Inca's rise. The origins of the Inca were a triumph of resilience in a land of extremes. From a small tribe in Cusco, they crafted a society rooted in the Andes' rugged embrace, their eyes fixed on the sun. As we move forward, we'll explore how these early roots blossomed into a vibrant empire, its people shaping mountains and skies into a legacy that would echo across centuries. In the rugged embrace of the Andes, where terraced fields clung to steep slopes and the sun cast golden light over stone villages, the Inca people wove a vibrant tapestry of daily life. From the 13th to 16th centuries, in the heartland of Cusco and beyond, their society thrived through agriculture, communal labor, and devotion to the sun god Inti. Organized into ala-skin-based communities, the Inca turned the harsh Andean landscape into a cradle of sustenance and culture. This chapter delves into the rhythms of Inca life, from farmers tending crops to artisans crafting textiles, and the traditions that bound their communities under the watchful peaks of their mountain home. Agriculture was the backbone of Inca society, sustaining millions across the empire's vast terrain. Farmers cultivated maize, potatoes, and quinoa on terraced fields, carved into mountainsides with stone tools. Picture a family at dawn. A man in a woven tunic guides a loma-drawn plow, breaking soil on a misty terrace, while his wife plants potato tubers, her hands dusted with earth. Irrigation channels, fed by mountain streams, watered crops in the arid highlands, while guano from coastal birds enriched the soil. In high altitudes, families freeze dried potatoes into kuo, preserving food for lean times, their ingenuity ensuring survival in a challenging land. The Alu system defined Inca social life, uniting families in shared labor and resources. Each Alu worked collectively, farming communal lands, repairing terraces, or herding llamas and alpacas. Imagine a village nestled in a valley. Thatched roof homes surround a central plaza, where neighbors gather to share maize beer chicha and mend irrigation ditches, their laughter echoing against stone walls. Women wove alpaca wool into vibrant textiles, their looms producing intricate patterns of geometric designs, while men crafted pottery or sharpened obsidian tools. This reciprocity, rooted in mutual support, strengthened communities and fueled the empire's growth. Cusco, the imperial capital, buzzed with activity as the heart of Inca life. Its markets drew traders from across the Andes, bartering coca leaves, copper, and feathers. Picture a bustling plaza. Vendors in colorful shawls offer quinoa for coastal shells, while porters carry bundles on llamaback, their steps steady on cobblestone paths. Artisans, skilled in metallurgy, shaped gold and silver into sun-shaped ornaments for temples, their workshops alive with the clang of hammers. Nobles, clad in fine wool tunics, oversaw trade, their authority reinforced by the Sapa Inca's divine presence, uniting the city in purpose. Traditions and festivals wove spiritual meaning into daily tasks. The Inti festival, honoring the sun god, filled Cusco with music and dance. Imagine a vibrant procession. Priests in golden robes offer coca leaves at a temple, while families in woven ponchos chant under a clear Andean sky, their offerings piled with maize and chicha. Music from panpipes and drums echoed through valleys, celebrating harvests or solstices. These gatherings, from rural Alas to Cusco's grand plazas, reinforced the Incas' bond with Inti and each other, their lives a harmonious blend of labor and reverence. Life in the Inca heartland was a testament to resilience and community. Farmers, artisans, and nobles worked in unison, their efforts transforming mountains into fertile fields and villages into vibrant hubs. As we move forward, we'll explore how their devotion to Inti shaped their religious practices, from golden temples to sacred rituals, forging a civilization that shone as brightly as the sun they worshipped. In the towering Andes, where the sun's golden rays bathed rugged peaks and starlit skies whispered divine secrets, the Inca wove their faith into every facet of existence. From the 13th to 16th centuries, their reverence for Inti, the sun god, and the pantheon of celestial and earthly deities shaped a cosmology that guided their empire. Temples of gold gleamed in Cusco, while priests and sacred rituals bound communities to the heavens. This chapter explores the Inca spiritual world, from their worship of Inti to the elaborate ceremonies like Inti Raymi, revealing a faith that illuminated their lives as brightly as the Andean sun. The Inca saw the universe as a sacred balance, divided into three realms: Hanan Pasha, the heavens; K Pasha, the earthly world; and Yucca Pasha, the underworld. Inti, the supreme deity, was the life-giving sun, father of the Inca rulers, while Mama Quilla, the moon goddess, governed time and fertility. Mountains, rivers, and stars were Waka's sacred entities revered as living spirits. Picture a priest standing atop a stone platform in Cusco, his tunic adorned with golden threads, offering maize and coca leaves to Inti as dawn breaks over snow-capped peaks. These rituals, performed in sacred sites, ensured harmony between the gods and the Inca's world. Ceremonies were the heartbeat of Inca faith, with Inti Raymi, the festival of the sun, as the grandest. Held at the winter solstice, it celebrated Inti's return with music, dance, and offerings. Imagine Cusco's main plaza. Thousands gather, their woven ponchos vibrant against stone walls, as priests in feathered headdresses sacrifice llamas, their blood offered to ensure fertile harvests. Families drank chicha, maize beer, and chanted prayers, their voices rising with pompipe melodies. Other rituals marked planting seasons or royal coronations, with offerings of gold, textiles, and occasionally human sacrifices, often captives or chosen youths to appease deities like Virakaka, the creator god. Priests, known as Wilka Yuma, held immense power, serving as intermediaries between gods and people. In the Coricancha, Cusco's golden temple of the sun, they conducted divinations, reading coca leaves or llama entrails to predict rains or wars. Picture a dimly lit temple chamber. A priest, his face painted with red ochre, kneels before a golden sun disk, its radiance reflecting on polished stone walls. Noble women, called mamaconas, served as priestesses, weaving sacred textiles and tending to wakas. These religious figures, trained from youth, maintained the empire's spiritual order, their rituals tying rural Alis to the imperial capital. Sacred sites, from mountain peaks to stone shrines, dotted the Andes. The Coricancha, its walls plated with gold, housed mummies of past Sapa Incas, believed to guide the living. Imagine a pilgrimage. Villagers trek along a mountain trail, their sandals crunching on gravel, to offer coca at a waka overlooking a valley. The Incas' cosmology also embraced the stars, with priests tracking constellations like the Pleiades to time planting. These sacred practices, blending faith and astronomy, infused every harvest, festival, and royal decree with divine purpose. The Inca faith was a vibrant thread binding their empire. From golden temples to rural shrines, their devotion to Inti and the cosmos shaped their identity and sustained their society. As we move forward, we'll explore how this spiritual foundation fueled their engineering marvels, from Machu Picchu to vast road networks, crafting an empire that seemed to touch the heavens themselves. At its zenith, the Inca Empire, or Tawantinsuyu for quarters, sprawled across the Andes, uniting mountains, deserts, and jungles under the divine rule of the Sapa Inca. From the 13th to 16th centuries, leaders like Pachacati transformed a small Cusco kingdom into a vast empire stretching from modern Ecuador to Chile. Their military conquests, sophisticated governance, and intricate social systems bound millions in a realm where the sun's rays seemed to touch every peak. This chapter explores the Inca's golden age, from the battlefield triumphs of Pachacati to the imperial order that made Tawantinsuyu a marvel of the Americas, gleaming under the watchful gaze of Inti. Pachacati, the ninth Sapa Inca r. 14,381,471, was the architect of empire, rising to power after defending Cusco from the rival Chonca. He launched campaigns to conquer neighboring tribes. Picture a highland battlefield. Pachacati, in a feathered headdress, leads warriors wielding bronze-tipped maces, their war cries echoing as they rout enemies beneath Andean peaks. His conquests absorbed Akola, Lupaca, and others, extending Tawantinsuyu across to million square kilometers. His son, Tupac Inca Yupanqui, continued this expansion, bringing coastal valleys and Amazonian fringes into the fold, uniting diverse peoples under Inca rule. Governance was the empire's backbone, centered in Cusco, the navel of the world. The Sapa Inca, seen as Inti's son, ruled with divine authority, supported by nobles and regional governors curacas. Picture a grand Cusco palace. The Sapa Inca on a golden throne, adorned with emeralds, receives tribute from curacas bearing coca and textiles, while scribes record taxes on quipu cords. The empire was divided into 4 sayas quarters, linked by the Capacan road network, with administrators enforcing laws and organizing labor. The mita system required communities to contribute work building roads or farming for the state, ensuring stability and loyalty. Society thrived on reciprocity and hierarchy. Nobles, dressed in fine alpaca wool, oversaw alus, ensuring communal fields were sown and storehouses filled. Commoners, farmers, herders, and artisans labored to sustain the empire, their taxes in maize or textiles supporting temples and armies. Imagine a bustling valley. Farmers haul potatoes to a stone coca warehouse, while weavers present vibrant cloths to a noble, their patterns honoring Inti. The Inca resettled conquered peoples, or mitimes, to integrate regions, spreading Quechua language and customs, creating a unified yet diverse empire. Military might and cultural assimilation sustained this glory. Inca armies, equipped with slings and bronze axes, subdued rivals, while diplomats offered gifts to secure alliances. Picture a victory procession. Warriors march into Cusco, captives trailing behind, as crowds cheer under banners of rainbow colors. Conquered tribes adopted Inca gods and practices, their wakas incorporated into the empire's pantheon. Festivals like Inti Raymi, with thousands dancing in Cusco's plazas, reinforced unity, their music from panpipes echoing across the Andes. The Inca Empire at its peak was a triumph of vision and order, its roads and cities binding millions under the Sapa Inca's rule. From Pachacutis conquests to the intricate web of mita and quipu, Tawantinsuyo shone as a beacon of Andean achievement. Yet, shadows loomed rivalries and external threats that would test its strength. As we move forward, we'll explore the cataclysmic arrival of the Spanish and the fall of this radiant empire, leaving a legacy that endures in the mountains' eternal embrace. In the golden age of the Inca Empire, Tawantinsuyo spanned the Andes, its stone cities and sunlit terraces a testament to centuries of resilience. Yet, in the early 16th century, a shadow fell across this radiant realm. Spanish conquistadors, led by Francisco Pizarro, arrived with steel and ambition. From 1532 to 1533, the empire that had united millions under the Sapa Inca crumbled under the weight of internal strife, disease, and foreign invasion. This chapter explores the cataclysmic fall of the Inca, from the betrayal at Cajamarca to the sacking of Cusco, and the fleeting resistance that followed, marking the end of a sunlit era. The seeds of collapse were sown before the Spanish set foot in the Andes. By 1527, a smallpox epidemic, carried from European settlements in Panama, ravaged Tawantinsuyo, killing thousands, including the Sapa Inca Huayna Capac and his heir. The empire plunged into civil war as brothers Atahualpa and Huáscar vied for the throne. Picture a bloodied battlefield. Inca warriors, wielding bronze maces, clash under rival banners, their loyalties split between Cusco and Quito. This division weakened the empire, its roads and storehouses strained, as communities mourned their dead and fields lay fallow. Francisco Pizarro landed on Paris coast in 1532 with just 168 men, drawn by tales of gold. At Cajamarca, he exploited the Incas' disarray, luring Atahualpa into a trap. Picture a tents plaza. Atahualpa, carried on a golden litter, faces Pizarro's armored soldiers, unaware of hidden cannons. In a sudden ambush, the Spanish slaughtered thousands of Inca attendants, capturing Atahualpa in November 1532. Despite a ransom of gold and silver enough to fill a room, the Spanish executed him, shattering the empire's divine leadership. The betrayal at Cajamarca was a wound from which Tawantinsuyo would not recover. Cusco, the imperial heart, fell in 1533 as Pizarro's forces marched south. Picture the sacred city in chaos. Spanish horsemen charged through plazas, looting the Coricanchi's golden walls, while Inca nobles flee, their textiles trampled under iron hooves. The Spanish installed a puppet ruler, Manco Inca, but his rebellion in 1536, besieging Cusco, failed to reclaim the empire. Resistance persisted in remote strongholds like Vilcabamba, where Inca leaders held out until 1572, their warriors fighting with slings and spears against muskets. Yet, disease and superior weaponry overwhelmed the Incas' courage. The conquest devastated Inca society. Spanish colonizers seized lands, forced Taínos into labor in mines, and suppressed worship of Inti. Picture a desolate terrace, once vibrant fields lie abandoned, as survivors toil under Spanish overseers, their songs silenced, sacred walkers were destroyed, and gold ornaments melted into coins, erasing centuries of artistry. Yet, the Inca spirit endured. Quechua language and traditions survived in remote villages, whispered in defiance of colonial rule. The fall of Tawantinsuyo marked the end of an Andean empire, but not its legacy. The Spanish built their cities atop Inca stones, and Machu Picchu, hidden in the clouds, escaped their grasp. Picture a modern Andean village. Descendants in woven ponchos offer coca to Inti, their rituals echoing ancient prayers. As we move to our final story, the Inca's collapse reminds us of a civilization's brilliance, its vulnerability, and its enduring voice in the mountain's eternal embrace. The fall of the Inca Empire in 1533, under the steel and ambition of Spanish conquistadors, silenced the golden halls of Cusco and scattered the children of the sun. Yet, the spirit of Tawantinsuyo endured, its roots too deep to be uprooted by conquest. From the 16th century to today, the Inca's legacy lives in the Quechua language, vibrant traditions, and stone ruins that still crown the Andes. This final chapter explores how the Inca's culture, ingenuity, and resilience survived colonial oppression, shaping the identity of modern Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador, and leaving a mark that echoes across centuries in the mountain's timeless embrace. Spanish rule sought to erase Inca heritage, imposing Christianity and dismantling temples like the Coricancha. Yet, in remote Andean villages, descendants preserve their traditions in secret. Picture a hidden valley. Quechua families gather at dusk, weaving alpaca wool into textiles with ancient patterns, their whispers in the Inca tongue defying colonial decrees. The Spanish built churches atop Inca foundations, but locals blended Inti's worship with Catholic rituals, creating syncretic festivals. Sun's days mask celebrations of the sun, with dancers in woven tunics moving to Pompite melodies, their steps echoing Inti Raymi's ancient rhythms. The Incas' engineering marvels endured as a testament to their genius. Machu Picchu, undiscovered by the Spanish, stood untouched, its stone walls defying centuries of rain and quakes. Picture its terraces today. Mist swirls around granite palaces, their precision still baffling modern engineers as tourists tread the paths once walked by priests. The Capacan Road network, though partially overgrown, remains a UNESCO treasure, its stone bridges and tampas guiding hikers through the Andes. Terraced fields, still farmed by Quechua communities, yield potatoes and quinoa, a living link to the Incas' agricultural mastery. Quechua culture thrives in modern Andean life. Over 10 million people speak Quechua, the Inca's language, weaving stories of Manco Capac and the Sapa Inca. Picture a bustling market in Cusco. Vendors in colorful shawls sell maize and textiles, their stalls echoing the empire's trade hubs, while children learn Quechua songs of creation. Festivals like Quilariti blend Inca star worship with Catholic pilgrimage, drawing thousands to glacial peaks for dances and offerings. Weavers, using ancient looms, craft textiles with geometric designs, preserving the artistry once reserved for nobles. The Inca's legacy also shapes global culture. Their crops potatoes, maize, quinoa feed billions, transformed by Inca domestication into staples of modern diets. Picture a Peruvian farmer planting kuo in a terraced field. His methods unchanged since Timbuktu. Archaeologists uncover Quipu cords, decoding their knots to reveal Inca administration, while Machu Picchu inspires awe as a global icon. Modern Peru embraces its Inca roots, with museums and festivals celebrating Timbuktu's grandeur. From Cusco's stone streets to Bolivia's sacred Lake Titicaca, the Inca's story is one of resilience, their culture enduring through conquest and time. Their stone cities, woven textiles, and sunlit rituals live on in the Andes, carried by descendants who honor Inti's legacy. Picture a modern Quechua elder, offering coca leaves at a mountain waka, his prayers blending with the wind, as children dance under Andean stars. As we turn to our final story, the Inca remind us of a civilization that, though fallen, left an indelible mark on the world, its echoes resonating in every terrace, song, and stone. In the sun-scorched savannas of West Africa, where the Niger River carved a lifeline through grasslands and deserts, the Mali Empire rose as a beacon of wealth and wisdom. From the early 13th century, the Monde people, united by visionary leaders, transformed a cluster of villages into a powerhouse that would dazzle the medieval world with gold, trade, and scholarship. This chapter journeys to the origins of Mali, from the legendary triumphs of Sundiata Keita to the vibrant communities along the Niger, laying the foundations of an empire that stretched across the Sahara, its glory rooted in the rhythms of the land and the spirit of its people. The Mali Empire's story begins with the Monde, a people skilled in farming and trade, settled along the fertile banks of the Niger River. According to oral traditions, preserved by griot storytellers and historians, the empire's rise is tied to Sundiata Keita, a warrior prince who overcame exile and disability to unite the Monde. In 1235, at the Battle of Kiruna, Sundiata defeated the Soso king Sumonguru, reclaiming his homeland. Picture a dusty battlefield. Sundiata, clad in woven armor, leads mounted warriors, their spears glinting, as they charge under a blazing sky, their victory chants echoing across the savannah. This triumph marked the birth of Mali, with Congoba as its early heart. Life in these early Monde communities revolved around the Niger's bounty. Farmers cultivated millet, sorghum, and rice in floodplains, their hoes breaking rich soil under acacia trees. Picture a riverside village. Women pound grain in wooden mortar, their laughter mingling with the lowing of cattle, while men fish from dugout canoes, their nets heavy with tilapia. Herders guided goats and cattle across grasslands, trading milk and hides in bustling markets. These villages, organized into clans, shared labor and resources, their mud brick homes topped with thatched roofs, forming tight-knit communities under the guidance of elders. Trade was the lifeblood of early Mali, fueled by the Sahara's caravan routes. Gold from bamboo mines and salt from desert oases flowed through markets, carried by camel caravans. Picture a vibrant trading post. Merchants in flowing robes barter gold, dust for cola nuts, their voices rising over the bleating of goats, as porters load goods under palm shades. These exchanges connected Mali to North Africa and beyond, spreading Monde culture and Islam, adopted by elites after contact with Berber traders. Masks of mud and wood began to rise, their minarets casting shadows over traditional shrines. Leadership emerged through chiefs and kings, with Sundiata as the first Mansa king, revered as a unifier. His capital, Niani, grew into a thriving hub, its adobe palaces adorned with woven tapestries. Picture a royal court. Sundiata, seated on a wooden throne, consults griots reciting epic tales, while advisors tally trade goods on knotted cords. His rule blended Monde traditions with Islamic governance, fostering justice and stability. The griots, keepers of oral history, sang the epic of Sundiata, weaving his legend into the fabric of Mali's identity. The rise of Mali was a triumph of vision and resilience, its people forging a golden empire from the Niger's fertile banks. Their farms, markets, and stories laid the groundwork for a civilization that would shine across the Sahara. As we move forward, we'll explore how this foundation shaped daily life in Mali, from farmers to scholars, in a realm where gold and wisdom flowed as freely as the river itself. In the sunlit savannas of West Africa, where the Niger River wove a shimmering thread through grasslands and dusty plains, the Mali Empire thrived as a vibrant hub of culture and commerce. From the 13th to 15th centuries, its people, farmers, traders, artisans, and griots built a society that pulsed with the rhythms of the land and the wealth of its gold. Centered in cities like Niani and along the river's fertile banks, their daily lives blended hard work, community, and tradition. This chapter explores the heartbeat of Mali's heartland, revealing the lives of its people, their social bonds, and the customs that made the empire a beacon of medieval Africa. Agriculture sustained Mali's millions, with the Niger's floodplains yielding abundant crops. Farmers cultivated millet, sorghum, and rice, their hosts slicing through rich, black soil under the shade of baobab trees. Picture a riverside field at dawn. A farmer, sweat beading on his brow, plants seeds as women carry water in clay pots, their songs mingling with the hum of insects. In drier regions, herders guided cattle and goats across savannas, their herds grazing on sparse grasses. Irrigation ditches, dug by communal effort, channeled river water to fields, ensuring harvests that filled mud-brick granaries for lean seasons. Mali's society was organized into clans and villages, bound by kinship and mutual support. The Monde people lived in tight-knit communities, their mud and thatch homes clustered around central courtyards. Imagine a village at dusk. Families gather to share meals of millet porridge and roasted fish, their laughter echoing as children play under acacia trees. Artisans crafted intricate goods, blacksmiths forged iron tools, weavers spun cotton into colorful cloths, and jewelers shaped gold into earrings for nobles. These crafts, passed down through generations, were both practical and sacred, often adorned with patterns honoring ancestors or spirits. Trade fueled Mali's vibrancy, with markets in Niani and Jen bustling with activity. Merchants, draped in flowing robes, bartered gold dust, salt, and kola nuts, their stalls shaded by palm fronds. Picture a crowded marketplace. Traders shout offers for ivory and ostrich feathers, while caravans unload salt slabs carried across the Sahara by camel. These markets connected Mali to North Africa and the Mediterranean, drawing Arab travelers who marveled at the empire's wealth. Islam, embraced by elites, shaped urban life, with masks of sun-baked mud rising beside traditional shrines, their minarets piercing the skyline. Social hierarchy balanced community and power. The Mansa king, revered as a divine ruler, governed from Niani, supported by nobles and clan leaders who oversaw taxes and labor. Griots, the empire's oral historians, held unique status, their songs preserving tales of Sundiata and Monde history. Picture a griot in a village square, strumming a kora, his voice weaving the epic of Sundiata as listeners sit wrapped under starlight. Commoners, farmers, herders, and artisans sustained the empire, their labor and goods flowing to the capital as tribute. Slaves, often war captives, toiled in fields or served elites, their lives a stark contrast to the noble splendor. Festivals and rituals united Mali's people. Harvest celebrations filled villages with drumming and dance, honoring ancestors and deities like the river spirit Pharaoh. Imagine a riverside gathering. Women in vibrant headwraps offer millet to a shrine, while drummers beat rhythms on gem drums, their beats pulsing through the night. These traditions, blending Monde beliefs with Islam, strengthened communal bonds. As we move forward, we'll explore how Mali's faith, from masks to griot songs, shaped its spiritual and intellectual life, forging a golden empire that dazzled the world. In the sun-drenched savannas of West Africa, where the Niger River glittered like a sacred vein, the Mali Empire wove a rich spiritual tapestry that bound its people to both the divine and their ancestors. From the 13th to 15th centuries, Mali's faith blended the rising influence of Islam with deep-rooted Monde traditions, creating a vibrant religious life that pulsed through mosques, villages, and royal courts. Griots sang of ancient spirits, while scholars studied the Quran, uniting communities under a shared reverence for the cosmos. This chapter explores Mali's spiritual world, from the grand masks of Djen to the sacred rituals along the Niger, revealing a faith that illuminated the empire's golden age. Islam, introduced through trade with North African Berbers, became a cornerstone of Mali's elite culture. By the 13th century, rulers like Sundiata Keita embraced the faith, building masks of sun-baked mud to honor Allah. The Great Masque of Djen, its towering walls adorned with wooden beams, stood as a beacon of devotion. Picture a bustling courtyard. Worshippers in flowing robes gather for Friday prayers, their voices rising in Arabic as the muezzin's call echoes across the savannah. Islamic scholars, or marabouts, taught the Quran in madrasas, their lessons shaping the empire's laws and diplomacy, while kings used Islam to forge ties with distant Muslim realms. Yet, traditional Monde beliefs remained vibrant, coexisting with Islam in a harmonious blend. The Monde revered spirits like Pharaoh, the river god, believed to govern the Niger's floods. Villages maintained shrines simple stone or wooden altars where offerings of millet or kola nuts were made to ensure fertile harvests. Imagine a riverside ritual. Elders, their faces painted with white clay, pour dolo beer onto a shrine, chanting to honor ancestors under a baobab shade. These practices, rooted in the land, linked communities to their past, with spirits guiding daily life alongside Islamic prayers. Griots, the empire's oral historians, were spiritual guardians, weaving faith into their songs. Their performances preserved the epic of Sundiata and tales of ancestral spirits, blending Monde cosmology with Islamic values. Picture a village square at dusk. A griot strums a kora, its strings humming as he sings of Sundiata's divine destiny, while families listen, their eyes gleaming under starlight. These stories, passed through generations, reinforced moral codes and communal bonds, making griots as vital to Mali's spirit as imams in mosques. Festivals united Islam and tradition in vibrant celebrations. The Islamic holiday of Eid al-Fitr filled markets with feasts of rice and goat, while Monde harvest festivals honored Pharaoh with dances and drumming. Imagine a Djen plaza. Women in vibrant headwraps swell to gem rhythms, their offerings of sorghum piled high, as children weave through crowds, laughing under lantern light. Royal rituals, led by the Mansa, showcased Mali's dual faith. Kings offered gold to masks, while honoring ancestral walkers with coca-like kola nuts, their authority rooted in both Allah and tradition. The faith of Mali was a bridge between worlds, blending the Quran's teachings with the Niger's ancient spirits. Masks and shrines stood side by side, their rituals sustaining a society that dazzled with gold and wisdom. This spiritual harmony, carried by griots and scholars, defined Mali's golden age, its light shining across the Sahara. As we move forward, we'll explore how this faith fueled Mali's intellectual and commercial prowess, from Timbuktu's universities to its bustling trade routes, crafting an empire that captivated the medieval world. In the shimmering heat of West Africa's savannas, where the Niger River linked bustling cities to distant deserts, the Mali Empire thrived as a commercial titan, its wealth in gold dazzling the medieval world. From the 13th to 15th centuries, Mali's trade networks, stretching across the Sahara to North Africa and beyond, fueled an economy that made cities like Timbuktu and Djen legendary. Merchants, caravans, and markets transformed the empire into a hub of prosperity, where gold dust flowed as freely as the river's waters. This chapter explores Mali's economic might, from its gold mines to its vibrant trade hubs, revealing the lifeblood of a golden empire that captivated distant lands. Gold was Mali's heartbeat, mined in the southern regions of Bambouk and Bure. Miners, working under the scorching sun, panned rivers and dug pits to extract glittering dust and nuggets, their labor filling royal treasuries. Picture a Bambouk stream. Men and women sift through sediment, their hands glistening with gold, as overseers tally yields for the Mansa. This gold, carried north by camel caravans, was traded for salt, cloth, and books, commodities as vital as wealth itself. Salt, scarce in the savannah, preserved food and sustained health, its slabs prized as highly as gold in Mali's markets. Trade routes crisscross the Sahara, linking Mali to the Mediterranean and the Islamic world. Caravans, sometimes thousands of camels strong, trekked through dunes, guided by Berber traders. Imagine a desert trail. Camels plod under heavy loads, their bells jingling, as merchants in turbans shield their faces from blowing sand, carrying gold to Cairo and Damascus. Timbuktu emerged as a trade nexus, its markets teeming with goods, ivory, kola nuts, and slaves exchanged for Arab horses and European textiles. Arab travelers, like Ibn Battuta, marveled at the city's order and wealth, their accounts spreading Mali's fame across continents. Markets in Djenné and Niani buzzed with life, their stalls shaded by palm and baobab trees. Picture a crowded Djenné plaza. Vendors in colorful robes barter gold for salt slabs, their voices rising over the bleating of goats, while women weave through crowds with baskets of millet. Artisans crafted leather goods and jewelry, their workshops alive with the clink of hammers, shaping gold into earrings for nobles. The Mansa regulated trade, ensuring fair weights and taxes, with scribes recording transactions in Arabic, a nod to Mali's Islamic elite. These markets were cultural crossroads, blending Monde, Berber, and Arab influences. The empire's wealth supported a complex economy. The Mansa distributed gold to loyal nobles, who oversaw jeweler merchant clans managing long-distance trade. Taxes, paid in grain, gold, or labor, filled royal storehouses, sustaining armies and public works. Picture a Niani granary. Farmers deliver sacks of sorghum, their loads weighed by officials, as griots sing of the Mansa's generosity. This system, rooted in reciprocity, ensured stability, with surplus goods redistributed to drought-stricken regions, binding distant provinces to the capital. Mali's trade and wealth were the pillars of its golden age, transforming savannah towns into global hubs. The flow of gold, salt, and ideas enriched a society where markets pulsed with life and caravans carried Mali's fame across the Sahara. As we move forward, we'll explore how this prosperity fueled Timbuktu's rise as a center of learning, where scholars and manuscripts crafted an intellectual legacy, radiant as the empire's gold. Under the blazing West African sun, where the Niger River nourished a thriving empire, the Mali Empire reached its zenith under Mansa Musa, a ruler whose wealth and wisdom became legend. From 1312 to 1337 CE, Musa transformed Mali into a global beacon, his reign marked by unparalleled prosperity, architectural marvels, and a pilgrimage to Mecca that stunned the medieval world. His leadership elevated cities like Timbuktu into centers of trade and learning, cementing Mali's place in history. This chapter explores Mansa Musa's golden age, from his opulent journey across the Sahara to the cultural flourishing that defined Mali's splendor, a radiance that echoed far beyond the Niger's banks. Mansa Musa inherited a thriving empire built on gold and trade, but his vision magnified its glory. Revered as a devout Muslim and descendant of Sundiata, he ruled from Niani, his court a hub of advisors, griots, and scholars. Picture a royal palace. Musa, draped in gold-embroidered robes, sits on a throne adorned with ivory, as scribes tally taxes on parchment, their ink gleaming in torchlight. His administration, blending Islamic governance with Monde traditions, ensured stability, with governors overseeing provinces and caravans linking Mali to Cairo and Baghdad. Musa's 1324 pilgrimage to Mecca, a journey of over 4,000 miles, showcased Mali's wealth and devotion. Leading a caravan of 60,000 people, including soldiers, servants, and 100 camels laden with gold, he crossed the Sahara, leaving a trail of generosity. Imagine a desert horizon. Camels plod through dunes, their golden loads glinting, as Musa distributes alms to the poor in Cairo, his gifts crushing gold markets. In Mecca, he built mosques and studied with scholars, returning with Arab architects and manuscripts, enriching Mali's culture. His journey put Mali on the world map, with European cartographers depicting him as a golden-crowned king. Under Musa, Timbuktu and Djenné flourished as intellectual and commercial hubs. The Sanka Mosque, a university of mud brick towers, drew scholars from across the Islamic world. Picture a Timbuktu courtyard. Students in white robes study astronomy under a scholar's guidance, their manuscripts stacked high as traders barter gold nearby. Musa's patronage funded libraries, filling them with thousands of texts on law, science, and poetry. These centers, blending Islamic scholarship with Monday oral traditions, made Mali a beacon of knowledge, rivaling Baghdad and Cordoba. Society thrived in this golden age, supported by Mali's wealth. Nobles, adorned in silk and gold, oversaw bustling markets, while farmers and artisans sustained the empire with militant crafts. Picture a Gen festival. Griots strum chorus, singing Musa's praises as dancers swirl in vibrant cloths, their movements honoring both Allah and ancestral spirits. The Mansa's generosity building mosques, schools, and hospitals earned loyalty, with taxes in gold and grain flowing to Nyanis storehouses. This prosperity strengthened Mali's social fabric, uniting clans and provinces under a shared vision. Mansa Musa's reign was Mali's high watermark, a time when gold, faith, and knowledge converged to create a radiant empire. His pilgrimage and patronage transformed Timbuktu into a global center, while his leadership wove Monday traditions with Islamic ideals. Yet, challenges loomed: succession disputes and external pressures that would test Mali's resilience. As we move forward, we'll explore the forces that led to Mali's decline, and how its golden legacy endured in the songs of griots and the sands of the Sahara. In the radiant heart of West Africa, where the Niger River once fueled a golden empire, the Mali Empire stood as a beacon of wealth and wisdom. Yet, by the late 14th century, the brilliance of Mansa Musa's reign began to fade, as internal strife and external pressures cast long shadows over Mandan. From the 15th century onward, the empire that had dazzled the medieval world with gold and scholarship succumbed to succession disputes, invasions, and economic strain. This chapter explores the unraveling of Mali's glory, from weakened leadership to the rise of rival powers, and the enduring spirit that lingered in its wake. The seeds of decline sprouted after Mansa Musa's death in 1337. His successors, less adept, struggled to maintain the empire's vast reach. Succession disputes fractured the royal court, with rival Mansis vying for power in the Oni. Picture a once vibrant palace. Nobles in tattered robes argue bitterly, their voices echoing in halls where gold once gleamed. As griots fall silent, their chorus unstrung. Weak leadership strained the loyalty of distant provinces, where governors harded taxes, weakening the Mansis authority. The intricate trade networks, once Mali's lifeblood, faltered as local leaders prioritized personal gain over imperial unity. External threats compounded internal woes. The Songhai, a neighboring people along the Niger, grew in strength, their armies eyeing Mali's goldfields. By the 1430s, Songhai raids disrupted trade routes, capturing key towns like Timbuktu. Imagine a burning market. Songhai warriors, wielding iron spears, charged through Timbuktu streets, merchants fleeing as stalls collapse under flames. The Mossi, from the south, also raided Mali's borders, looting villages and disrupting agriculture. These invasions stretched Mali's armies thin, their warriors unable to protect the sprawling empire from relentless assaults. Economic pressures further eroded Mali's power. Over-reliance on gold trade left the empire vulnerable as global markets shifted. Mansa Musa's lavish pilgrimage had flooded Cairo with gold, devaluing it and destabilizing Mali's economy. Picture a deserted gen market. Traders, once flush with gold dust, barter meager goods under wilting palm shades, their caravans dwindling. Over-farming depleted Niger floodplains, reducing harvests of millet and sorghum, while drought-strained granaries. Villages, once bustling, saw families migrate to greener lands, leaving mud brick homes to crumble in the savannah's heat. Social cohesion frayed as the empire weakened. The Mansa's generosity, once a pillar of loyalty, faltered, alienating clans and artisans. Picture a silent village, farmers, burdened by taxes, abandoned fields, their tools rusting, As griots lament a fading empire, Islam, though strong in cities, clashed with rural Monde traditions, creating tensions that eroded unity. By the late 15th century, Mali had shrunk to a shadow of Tawantinsuyu, its provinces breaking away under local rulers or falling to Songhai's rising empire, which claimed Timbuktu by 1468. Yet, Mali's spirit endured. Griots continued to sing the epic of Sundiata, preserving Monde identity in villages along the Niger. Picture a modern gathering. Elders in vibrant robes share tales under a baobab, their words echoing Mali's glory as children listen, wide-eyed. Timbuktu's manuscripts and Jen's mask, though weathered, stood as testaments to Mali's brilliance. As we move to our final chapter, we'll explore how this legacy woven in gold, song, and stone continues to shine, inspiring West Africa and the world beyond the Sahara's sands. Though the Mali Empire faded by the late 15th century, its golden light never fully dimmed. The empire that once dazzled the medieval world with gold, scholarship, and faith left an indelible mark on West Africa, its echoes resonating in the songs of griots, the minarets of Jen, and the manuscripts of Timbuktu. From the 13th to 15th centuries, Mali's brilliance shaped a region and a world, its legacy enduring through centuries of change. This final chapter explores how the Mali Empire's culture, knowledge, and spirit live on, carried by descendants and preserved in the sands of the Sahara, a testament to a golden age that continues to inspire. The fall of Mali to Songhai and internal strife could not erase its cultural heritage. Griots, the Monde storytellers, kept the empire's history alive, their voices weaving the epic of Sundiata into the fabric of West African identity. Picture a modern village. A griot strums a kora under a baobab tree, his songs recounting Mansa Musa's pilgrimage. As children listen, their eyes wide with wonder. These oral traditions, blending Monde myths with Islamic values, sustain the Mandinka and Bambara peoples. Their languages descended from Mali's tongue spoken by millions across Mali, Senegal, and Guinea. Mali's intellectual legacy shines in Timbuktu, once a global center of learning. The city's manuscripts, thousands preserved in libraries, cover astronomy, law, and medicine, reflecting Mali's scholarly peak. Picture a quiet Timbuktu archive. Scholars in flowing robes study fragile pages, their Arabic script glowing in lamplight, as modern researchers digitize texts to share with the world. The Sanka Mosque, its mud brick towers weathered but proud, stands as a UNESCO treasure, drawing visitors to marvel at a city that rivaled medieval Cairo. These works, saved from conflict and decay, affirm Mali's role as a cradle of African scholarship. Architecture and faith endure in Mali's living monuments. The Great Mosque of Jen, rebuilt over centuries, remains a vibrant center of worship and community. Imagine a festival at Jen. Worshippers in colorful baobas gather, their prayers mingling with gem drums, as mud-plastered walls gleam under the sun. This blend of Islam and Monde traditions, born in Mali's golden age, thrives in festivals and mosques across West Africa, where communities honor both Allah and ancestral spirits like Pharaoh, the river god. In rituals along the Niger, Mali's economic influence persists in global trade and culture. The empire's gold, once carried across the Sahara, shaped medieval economies, while its crops, sorghum, and millet remain staples in African diets. Picture a modern Bamako market. Vendors sell millet porridge, their stalls echoing Mali's ancient trade hubs, as women weave cotton into patterns inspired by Monde designs. The legacy of Mansa Musa's wealth inspires modern Mali, with his image adorning art and stories, a symbol of African greatness that challenges colonial narratives. The Mali Empire's legacy is a vibrant thread in the tapestry of human history. Its griots, manuscripts, and masks carry the spirit of a civilization that blended gold with wisdom, faith with innovation. Picture a modern Malian elder, offering kola nuts at a riverside shrine, his prayers echoing Sundiata's triumphs, as youth dance to rhythms born centuries ago. As we close this story, Mali's echoes remind us of a golden empire whose light still shines, inspiring West Africa and the world with its enduring brilliance. As our journey through the ancient worlds of the Maya, Inca, and Mali comes to a close, we stand in awe of the human spirit that carved empires from jungles, mountains, and savannas. These three civilizations, separated by continents and centuries, wove a shared tapestry of ingenuity, faith, and resilience, their stories etched in stone, gold, and song. From the Maya's starlit pyramids to the Inca's Andean terraces and Mali's golden masks, their achievements reflect humanity's timeless drive to create and endure. This conclusion celebrates their legacies, uniting their voices in a chorus that echoes across time, inviting us to reflect on our own place in history's vast narrative. The Maya, thriving in Mesoamerica's jungles from 200 BCE to 900 CE, built cities like Tikal, where priests charted the heavens and artisans carved tales of gods. Their hieroglyphs and calendars, blending science with spirituality, survived conquest, living on in the languages and rituals of modern Maya communities. Picture a Guatemalan village. Elders burn incense at a cenote, their chants honoring Chok, as children weave textiles echoing ancient designs. The Maya's ruins, now global treasures, remind us of a people who balanced earth and cosmos with enduring brilliance. In the Andes, the Inca rose from 13th century Cusco to forge Tawantinsuyu, an empire of roads and terraces that tamed rugged peaks. From 1200 to 1533, their engineering marvels, like Machu Picchu and devotion to Inti, the sun god, united millions. Despite Spanish conquest, their legacy endures in Quechua songs and stone walls. Imagine a Peruvian festival. Dancers in vibrant ponchos honor Inti, their steps tracing paths laid by Sapa Incas, as Machu Picchu stones gleam under Andean skies, a testament to their resilience. Across the Sahara, the Mali Empire glittered from the 13th to 15th centuries, its gold and scholarship illuminating West Africa. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage and Timbuktu's universities made Mali a medieval marvel, blending Islam with Monde traditions. Today, griots sing the epic of Sundiata, and Jen's mask stands proud. Picture a Malian market. Vendors sell millet under baobabs, their voices echoing ancient trade hubs, as manuscripts preserve Mali's wisdom, inspiring scholars worldwide. These empires, though fallen, share a legacy of human triumph. The Maya's star charts, the Inca's stone cities, and Mali's manuscripts reveal a universal quest for knowledge, beauty, and connection to the divine. Their stories of farmers, kings, and scholars mirror our own aspirations, reminding us that civilizations rise through collective effort and endure through cultural memory. Picture a modern scene. A Maya weaver, an Andean farmer, a Malian griot, each carrying their ancestors' wisdom, linking past to present under the same stars. As we close this epic journey, we invite you to reflect on these ancient worlds. What stories moved you most? The Maya's cosmic rituals, the Inca's mountain marvels, or Mali's golden wisdom? What would you add or explore further in our next adventure? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know which ancient cultures you'd love to discover next. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button to show your support, and subscribe to join us for more tales of history's wonders. Share this video with friends, and let's keep exploring the past together, weaving new threads into the tapestry of human triumph.